Officer, how you doing?
What's up?
How you doing?
How much you sound that backpack for, though?
Oh man, he got the Gucci here.
Swagging if you get that though, right? You gonna be the finest on
Right,
the
you got
force
it
with
on
that.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what's gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Iron Sharpens Iron. I'm here today with my homeboy right here, way back, he's like a brother right here. This is my guy Taiwan, COO of ASAP Barbers out here, flyest barber in the city out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we did a little stretch.
And became Sellies, huh?
No doubt, you know. And that's why I remember you was learning how to cut your own hair and everything like that up there. You used to cut your own hair, used to do the whole nine. So now you out here, you've been out for about 3 years?
About 3 years now. Yeah, about 3 years now. Going on 4 years now. Transitioned out here. Took ASAP Barbers. Turned it into an official small business out here. But it started in prison, like he said, with a thought, with practicing, with taking the time out to perfect my craft and then bring it out here. So yeah.
So what do you feel like now that you've been out? You got to get your own business. You got to be self-sufficient and everything like that. What would you say is your biggest takeaway? Say to somebody that's watching this video right here.
Well, looking in hindsight, when I first came home, I understood that I could work for myself. I had already kind of been doing it before, but it took its own character when I came home. It just took off. But initially, looking back in hindsight, if I could do it over, I would have kept my job and established more credit in that moment. You know what I mean? I would have kept my job longer. I would establish more credit. Being a felon, and if you do have the opportunity to get a job immediately and fast, you're ahead of the ball. You're ahead of the curve a little bit because you can start establishing credit fast. You can start building something. You know what I mean? Me, I started my small business, but I didn't have any credit because I was gone for so long. And when you get into, wanting to be the homeowner and owning things, credit comes into play. You know what I mean? And you'll catch yourself having to double back and have to do some other things. So my thing would be establish credit. If you got a job, keep it, lock it in, hold on to it for a minute. And it's not bad to be a small business owner or have that vision. Just build a concrete foundation first, and then handle your business. You know what I mean?
What you think though too though? While you was locked up though, don't you think you kind of was building that already while you was locked up? Because I mean, you was putting the idea together. You had a vision for what you wanted to do when you got out. You just had to get out and kind of fill out the world to be able to put that into play though, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like I think we all left about it there with a good vision.
Putting the blueprint together. That visual together. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing there. And there, all you can really do is put a visual and a blueprint together. And that's the best way to approach any type of situation, is to first have the visual and then attack it physically. You feel what I'm saying?
Remember that book that we used to be on, that Unlimited Power?
Yeah, Harold Robbins. Harold Robbins? Anthony Robbins. Neuro-linguistic processing.
Yeah, and that's a cool book for anybody out there watching. That Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins.
Yeah, it's called NLP, neuro-linguistic brain language processing.
That's how you training your brain, though, and it's on a whole bunch of different levels. But see, that's that foundation we're talking about again.
Right.
So you was already laying the foundation mentally and being mentally strong for what you got to take
having
on
a
when
vision.
you got out here. And then when you got out here, you started executing.
Exactly, that's it. Yep. Life happens. Life starts hitting you. You start understanding what everyone was telling you about in there, about life hitting them. And sometimes in there you don't have a full perspective of what's going on. You think you do.
But you got to think. How old were you when you first got locked up?
I was 18.
You was 18. How old when you got out?
I was 33.
That's it.
I was 33. Yeah.
In your prime, in a man's prime years.
Yeah.
I totally can relate because I did the same thing, 20 to 30 years, across the board. So that's crazy though, how all those decisions are, how every single decision that we be having though, that decision, whether it be small in our eyes or whether it just be huge, it all plays a huge effect to like everything. How many people did you see up in there frozen for one bad decision for the rest of their life?
For the rest of their life,
We was at Lyman, that was a closed facility though.
You run into those type of cases all the time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That was a facility where
they never get a second chance for a better decision ever. They're being convicted in their first one, so that's just try to wrap your mind around that. And a lot of those guys have have taken the steps to change themselves. As crazy as it may sound,
there's some
real good dudes in there.
Good dudes in there.
Some good dudes in there, man.
Never gonna come home, and I think at the end of the day, don't you think that kind of, when you think about that, it motivates you even more to go even harder. You know that opportunity.
You don't take it helps you not take.
Rare.
Yeah,
you're blessed to have this opportunity.
Yeah, you don't take it for granted no more. You know.
If you've been incarcerated and you've done any kind of stretch, and especially if you've been in the double digits, and you're back out here and you got options, and you're out here able to create and build. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you can't take this for granted.
Itself.
And to be able to see the growth and you see how far that you came, you know, at the end of the day, hey, I salute that for real.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate
it's a long way it's coming right there.
Appreciate
You know what I
too,
mean?
bro.
Yeah.
Same with you.
But this is the whole reason why this channel is even existing right here, is just to connect with other people that might have been incarcerated, or people that you know, once again have had to go down to those lowest of lows in order to rise all the way to the top. And you know, if I can do it, if he can do it, anybody can do it. You know, there's nothing setting you away from being able to attain the goals that you want to attain but you. And it's up to you to be out here grinding every day, waking up, getting to it, because nobody's going to give this to you. Because it starts in there, right? If you think you're going to get out here and just hop out here and start right then, you're too late in the game, because at the end of the day, it don't work like that. You got to start getting yourself and your mind prepared while you're up in there to get out here and transition into, because this world is moving fast. If you think prison is a motherfucking like a hangover,
wow,
shit, you living slow up in there. When you get out here, you got 1,000,001 things. Like my man said, you living life out here. You trying to juggle all this time with your significant other, the person that you may love. You're trying to grow your business. If you got another business, you're trying to grow that, and at the same time, you're trying to keep friends and family happy and dissect all your time and all this. And at the end of the day, you don't have that kind of stuff in the pen. You know, you're able to lay on your bunk for a minute. You're able to go to yard and hang out.
There's no sensory overload.
Yeah, you know, out here you're gonna be motherfucking bombarded, and you got to be prepared while you in there to get out here, because at the end of the day, you got worlds of opportunity out here, but it's once again how you use it. Because I mean, me and him know we've done seen people that's still out here from 10, 12, 13 years ago, still trapped in the same little rut, doing the same thing, and still, you know, got the same lame excuses of why they ain't got no further. But you know, once again, you know, may God bless them, right?
May God bless them, yeah. May God bless them. You keep people around you that have your best interests at heart, man, and just, especially when you get out here, you're gonna be gone for a minute. A lot of people gonna miss you. They're gonna want to see you. They're gonna be wanting to hang out, but have your priorities in order. Go see the people who looked out for you first. You know what I mean? Invest in the right places. You know, you have to hold people accountable, because you're gonna have people that are gonna try to come back and double back, and they may have not upheld their loyalty to you like they should have. You have to hold them accountable. You know, or you're gonna keep going through things. So
I gotta keep that. I gotta keep the bar high. You know, you only allow people to do what they can.
Right.
So, you know,
you so right.
Sometimes, you know, you gotta say, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, but hey,
spin them.
Yeah, hey man, you know, at the end of the day, I love you, but I mean, shit, don't look at me like, you know what I mean? Shit, I was struggling for 11. I not even had soap, shampoo. You didn't know what the hell I had in my box. You didn't know how I was making it fine. You didn't even care how I made it.
They say in life we do use 3 parts of our bodies to think: our mind, our stomach, and our hearts. You know, you use your brain to think, obviously. You have your heart feeling, then you got a gut feeling. When all 3 of those in tune, you tend to make a good decision. So try to get those in tune, you know.
I think we had the luxury while we had that downtime, though. You know what I mean? Anybody that was, you know, sound inside themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
You know, but tell me this right here, for the people that's watching. How many times when you were incarcerated did you actually go to the hall or go to SEC? How many times did you say?
Oh man. Well, initially I was in and out of there. I mean, of course, you know, when I first went in, I was rebellious. You know, I was still. I still didn't want to take full responsibility of what I had going on, what I did and stuff like that. So I acted out. So yeah, I was in and out of SEG. I think I've seen every SEG that you could.
But tell me this though. So all the times that you went to SEG and you had to set it down and kind of like reset though, did that kind of like get you a little closer with yourself though?
Yeah.
Like you could. I mean, like you had to face yourself. You didn't have.
It's jail inside of jail for one thing. So I was looking like a dumbass doing it. Let me tell you. Because in jail, it's kind of hard to go. I'm already in jail, and then I went in jail inside of jail. After years of doing that, a sound man that starts reflecting on himself, and that's what I started using those times for. You know, you can still be distracted inside of prison. There's still a bunch of distractions, whether you believe it or not. So isolation does that for you, and if you can utilize it in the right ways, it can be therapeutic.
It can go a long. It can go a long way. Literally, you ain't got no TV. You ain't got no majority of times you don't got no cellular. You got to deal with yourself. So all that stuff from 10 years ago that you may not you want to deal with, you're going to deal with that right there, and that's that's the thing about being out here and being free. You know, you got suppressants, you got alcohol, you got stuff that
can
numb
numb
your
it.
feelings, you know. But you know, a wise man will always deal with his feelings. He won't let them be pent up. He won't let them overflow, because it's like anything. You stuff it down too long, it's going to burst up somewhere. And for us, especially if you've been incarcerated, you know, right now it's too critical. You know, that's not an option ever again, to blow up like that and put yourself in a position that's going to put you back in that position. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I think we were fortunate though, being able to have that isolation, because the world don't get that. The world doesn't get that.
No.
You know, to spend time by themselves. I mean, think about it. How many times do you really get like alone time where you don't got a TV on or something where you really can listen to that voice, like he said, your
even
intuition.
if you look in the Bible, I mean, most people, most stories in the Bible, they were in exile. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the good books, they were in exile when they wrote them. They tapped in from exile. So don't take exile for granted. You know, everybody thinks it as a foreign. It happened to the best of us, the best of them. And some of the scriptures we read today were produced behind walls, behind exile. You know what I mean? So don't, you know, you got to tap in. So that's on a spiritual though. I ain't gonna get all spiritual on you, but you know, there you go.
Take them to church. Take them to church one time.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's real talk though. You know what I mean?
But you gotta look at, like you said, on the Bible. The majority of people in the Bible, they all did some heinous
They
stuff.
did some stuff.
They all had to go.
I
through
did some
hell.
time. You know what I mean?
A lot of them were killers. They were cutting heads off. You know, they were doing
Right.
Paul. I mean, they all show the transition. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And that's the transition that
Exactly.
you know. Anybody else watching this video, you know, you're probably on the same path as us to a degree. You know, we can relate to the uncertainty why you've been incarcerated and not knowing what it's going to be like when you get out here. I mean, damn, we were gone a decade and some change. So you got to imagine, you know, the world has changed over 10 times for us. So, you know, we were young men and we're getting out as, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, sharpening ourselves and spending our time wisely is really how we've been fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunities that we have now. Like,
and one thing I salute with my
business.
brother too is even with him doing these interviews and his businesses, his multi-businesses, is that the guys that me and him choose to kind of brush shoulders with off our intuition, we all, by the grace of God, we're doing all right out here. We're still, we haven't went back. You know what I mean? The handful of us. So yeah, you can meet some qualified dudes in there. You know what I mean? You can meet some solid people.
But at the same token, you always got to take another grain of salt when you do get out here. And you know, once again, there's all kind of vices out here that people don't have while they're incarcerated. And I know in my experience, everybody ain't been the same person that they've been while they've been incarcerated. And you know,
that's a whole nother paradigm shift. Yeah,
that's a whole nother episode. We have to come back and catch this next weekend. You know what I mean? But hey, nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, you know, the great thing is, if you've ever been incarcerated and you got out, you have a world of opportunity right here. You hit quite a few facilities, right? You got that whole little tour.
I even got sent to Mississippi too.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you got sent
out
of state. That's where they was popping the doors and having everybody fighting all kind of stuff, right?
Well, we got sent down to Mississippi. Where what happened was in Colorado, a bunch of riots jumped off with a bunch of different security threat groups. So they started sending us out of state. I was one of the persons that got sent down to Tutwiler, Mississippi, the deep south, leaving little bitty Colorado to the deep south on a 20-hour bus ride, kind of shackled up, you know, with a bottle of water and a sack lunch, bro. Just, wrap your mind around that.
You better not have to use that bathroom.
You better not have to use that bathroom. Yeah. So when we get down there, boom, they throw us in the cells and leave us in there for about 2 months, 23-hour lockdown in the south. It's taking months for our mail to catch us, that type of shit. But with all that time on our hands, it's a bunch of smart individuals in prisons. They started popping their slots, figuring out how to pop their slots and open doors, lock prison doors with shoestrings and toothbrushes. You know what I mean? That's how smart and intricate and things got down there. So well thought out it can be with some of these guys, you know? So yeah, it's just to wrap your mind around some of that stuff, man, and what time can do and how smart some of these guys are. You know what I mean?
When you was down there, you had to stay down. Was it lockdown or did you come out in the pod?
It was 23-hour lockdown. We were escorted everywhere. We were escorted to the shower, outside, back and forth. So we were pretty much, it was 23-1 down there, yeah.
What other states they had? They had like 4 other
They had
states.
Hawaii down there. They had California
too,
down there. They had a bunch of different states. Yeah, it was a bunch of different states down there, all in one area. It was crazy, man. Yeah, it was crazy.
Politics,
all kind of politics. We had when we first went down there were a bunch of young CEOs down there, and they were setting up cage matches with us.
Remember that was on the news.
Yeah, they were setting up cage matches with us. They weren't allowing some of the dudes to what they call cell banging. They weren't allowing that. They were actually setting up matches, you know, putting us in cage. Yeah, it was crazy down there though. Yeah, that was one of the experiences.
What do you think the longest lockdown you did? Because I remember when we was at Lyman, we was in that power
Oh yeah, so the longest lockdown?
That was like 4 months right there.
About 4 months. We did about,
That was through the holidays. That was
through the holidays
Christmas,
and everything, Christmas. We were cooking our food on coffee pots and finding alternatives.
Yeah.
Finding alternatives.
In there, we was getting super crafty.
Yeah. Well, during lockdown, you can't use the other amenities. The luxuries of being in prison, which is a microwave. A microwave is a luxury. You don't have that access, so you have to find alternatives if you don't want to eat their food. So we started finding alternatives.
You can order a coffee pot on special canteen for like it was like $30, $35, and that sucker will be everything. That'll be your coffee maker, that'll be your hot water maker, that'll be your that'll be put the bag of beans into the coffee pot with the hot water. That's
to melt the grilled cheese down too.
Yeah, you're gonna take that. You're gonna be able to do grilled cheese, the sausage, and at the end of the day, I mean,
you
gotta
get crafty.
You have to be. If you ain't crafty in there, you're gonna be just bread and water pretty much to a degree. But
yeah, so 4 months, 4 or 5 months, bro. And then doing that much, there's no village visits during that time. No phone calls during that time. Yeah, and then you better hope you have a good cellie that you can get along with, because during that time a lot of people get in fights and
get
killed. You're in yourself, and you'll hear some rumbling and people fighting, and people are falling out during the lockdown. They're having breakups.
That's how that be though.
They having whole fallouts,
Up,
and they may have been selling. It's just like riding a road or car trip for too long. People start.
True story. That's how it be. But you gotta. That's what it be like though. You're gonna get put in a cell with somebody you may not even like.
Right.
You be with somebody that it may be an old ass member. You had that one old school cat. He was crazy as shit though. When
Was it me?
Remember the old school? He always wanted the shortcakes. Always wanted the.
The strawberry. Leroy. You talking about Leroy?
Yes.
You talking about old Leroy?
Leroy was moving and grooving, boy. I remember he'd be out there.
I had a relative that this is how bad some of the prisons can be. Even though some people have mental illnesses, they still slip through the cracks and go with the general population. He should have been in a mental.
He should have.
San Carlos, they have a place or a mental institution for people like that. He slipped through, and he got an SSI check. So what he would do with his money every time he got sent in from his family, which was a lot because he got an SSI check, he'd buy all sweets, like TJ said. He would have boxes and on boxes of shortcakes and just, he had an habit, so.
He was a character though.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people in my life. He's one of the people that stand out for sure
Right.
though. You know what I mean? I understand. I mean, that's what you have in prison though. I mean, you ain't got sane people.
Right.
You ain't got.
But being in those cells with those people, you get to learn people better than they family know them. Like you get to learn. You figure out who people are. In time, people you're spending years around people, so
They family that gave up.
their family then gave up on them, so you get to learn people better than they know themselves sometimes, or their family know them. So
I remember that though.
that's one thing that can happen.
Yeah, true story. What do you think about the politics in there? Because me and you and Sally said we ain't never had no motherfucking problems. Period. Point blank. Never about being, you know what I mean? And I always be watching like the California stuff, and I know they be talking like, in California, you got, there's no mixing with no races, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I be arguing with my partner all the time. He'd always be telling me, hey, bro, when you would have went to California, man, you would have had I be telling me, hell nah, at the end of the day, I would never, man, I ain't changing up to be something different, you know what I mean? But I mean, the politics in prison, what would you say? What would you say for Colorado? Like, what is a quick little breakdown?
I say in Colorado, from my experience, probably the deepest the politics get is, it's more gang related, it's more blue and red. And then when you first hit, you better sit with your group of people in the chow hall or get around your people in public settings like that. Other than that, it's kind of like, if you can stand on your 10, you can kind of like, you're going to win out here. You know what I mean?
It must feel good, though, after all this time you did. Had that all behind you to be where you at right now.
Well, it teaches you, bro, not to interrupt you, to respect and to enjoy the little things. I always say it taught me to stop and smell the roses. You know what I mean? Like, you smell the roses now. I mean, anybody that if you value your freedom, that's all it does. It puts things into perspective for you if you value your freedom, And for me and him, for us,
And I think that he hit the nail on the head, because at the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, you think the floor is a given to step on. That bed you sleep in, that soft pillow that you got. And for years we slept on metal. We slept on metal with a pillow that was like a book. and that's what it teaches you, though. It's a humbling experience. It makes you show you, like, I know I used to run around that yard running laps trying to, burn weight off, and I'd be thinking about the park. you know, I'd be imagining, you know,
Right.
roses and bees and people and dogs and all kind of stuff, and it'd just be a bunch of people in green, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just in your way, old people, Medline, you know, that Medline used to overflow all into
Oh,
the
it used to look
yard.
like it was like an amusement park line for the med line. It was like they're waiting to get on the sidewinder.
A lot of people, they can't, they don't
can't cope.
Yeah, they can't cope with doing time and having to do that much time and have the, you know, the mediocrity of life just being what it is. You know, we made the most of our time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we had a little bit of downtime, we were just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we was gonna have a good time wherever we was. You know,
yeah.
we was gonna be good no matter where we were at.
Yeah,
You know,
we
what I
made the
mean?
best of it.
Yeah, we had to. We didn't have no other choice. And a lot of people, they don't know how to function like that. So they popping pills. They tell them they got, you know, disorders. They can't sleep. They're hearing voices, and maybe they are. I mean, you never do know. I mean, majority of the population in prison is, I mean, they off their little rocker just a tad bit, you know, to say the least, right? You agree with that?
I
wouldn't you?
believe it. Yeah, that
so
time, man,
it was.
it'll challenge you. It'll either
Yeah.
build character in you or it'll
Demolish you.
It'll demolish you. You know?
You either gonna come out of prison mentally strong and ready for the world at large, or you gonna be defeated. You know what I
Be
mean?
defeated, yeah.
At the end of the day, you gotta figure you stripped away from your family, you stripped away from your loved ones, you stripped away from your day-to-day opportunities, even to step outside.
And understand this, some guys that's done a whole bunch of time don't think you got it figured out before you come out here.
That's a true story.
Because you're not encountering certain stimulus. You're not encountering bills coming your way. You're not encountering juggling time with kids and work, and you're not juggling that. So just understand, everybody's situation is different. So don't think you have it figured out don't think that. Get out here and still be on guard. Still be taking notes.
The real test about getting out ain't just, you know, being out and being good. It's carrying that out 3-4 years, like my guy right here. You know what I mean? Like, that's the real test of being able to do time. Because when you get out here, this is the real test. This is what's going to put you. Every day is going to test you. You got bills as soon as you get out. You got to pay for UAs. You got to stay here and get from one point of town to another point in town. And for people that's did time, you know, you weren't moving but 3 or 4 blocks to go everywhere, to the chow hall, to the rec yard, to the gym. You only went 3 blocks. Now you got to go 10 miles, wait for a bus. You know, you might be in the snow, so you got to look ahead. You know, and that's like, it's like chess. You got to be 5 years ahead. You got, while you're in prison and while you're doing it, you got to look further. But let me ask you this real quick for you, for somebody that's just got out, what would be your best advice to them one time?
Make sure you establish stability.
Say that. What you mean? Like,
And I mean by that is
like
stability is a foundation, somewhere where you can call home. Somewhere where you can call home, you know?
Rest your
like,
head.
where you can rest your head and you can build from there. Like, instability out here is dangerous. It can be dangerous for you. You gotta always figure it out. You're always in limbo. So just make sure you build foundation. If you don't have foundation, seek it. Try to find it or establish it yourself and then go from there.
At the end of the day, if you don't utilize this day, nobody else is. Nobody else want to see you get further. Don't get me wrong, people will embrace you along the journey. They'll be glad to see you get there, but they're not going to wake you up in the morning. They're not calling your phone telling you, hey, bro, get up and get this money like that.
Right.
If you're not doing that, no one else is going to do it for you, so you need to find
They're
that
gonna go get that
you.
bag themselves.
Yeah.
Been in there
Yeah.
dealing with so many people, encountering so many
kinds of
different
people.
cellies, different kind of people. You're gonna have that intuition.
You should.
Run with it. You should.
Trust it.
Trust it. You know what I mean?
So, bro, I appreciate you again.
Already,
appreciate
bro.
you getting down.
Yes, sir.
Y'all make sure that y'all tap in with my mans right here on Facebook, on
Yes, sir.
Instagram, ASAP Barbers. Make sure you tap in with him.
Yes, sir.
One time.
Thank you.
You know, and everybody that's watching, make sure you hit that like button down there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We dropping new videos every Thursday at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Appreciate y'all again, and we out. Yep.
If you like this video right here, please show some love and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification button to stay updated for the latest videos. New videos will be dropping Thursday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, so please stay tuned.